I messed up again. If I typed the wrong thing into Discord, I pushed the button before I meant to when I was on the wrong thing. And I don't get a notification if I edit that according to Life Issues. What a disaster. Everything. Hi, I'm Scott. I also forgot to change the name. Who knows what's going on today? I don't know. Doesn't matter. We're doing just fine. I didn't change this name. I didn't do anything I was supposed to. I just stumbled. I got out of the shower and just like was like, let's stream. A little absent-minded, maybe. I mean, it's clean. Focused? No. But clean? Yes. Okay. I don't know if that's a very good title for the day. Hi there. I was just poking around at some stuff. I'll start Unity and all of those sorts of things. I have a call, some kind of work call in 45 minutes. We'll just pause the stream. It'll be fine, right? Maybe I'll take the call on stream. Give you some insight into my high-paced, exciting life of random calls that I don't know anything about. Why not? I don't think I even have any cloud projects. Okay, so what are we gonna do today? We've been poking at this terraformer for days. I'm like a little, just like slightly burned out on it a little bit. Just want to work on something else for a little while, I think. I did get up, I had some kind of vision late last night, and then this morning I did decide to play with messing with the vertices based on our mask shader, because I was like thinking about how flat it looks, and then I realized like, oh, we could just extrude the vertices based on the clicks also. It doesn't look great. In fact, I've maybe decided that it's not the way to go. I think I have it on just a little bit here. Yeah, you can see once we start to come around the edge, it doesn't really show up here very well. You know, we are actually bumping off the surface, like we're messing with the mesh itself, displacing the mesh, one might call it. But I don't think it looks too great, so I don't know. I don't know if we'll keep that or not. So I was thinking of working on some back-endy stuff. What's the best way to test that? Because I want to fix up errors and throttling. We'll just have to reset that because there's one bummer is we just can't use the Reedus server easily. The AWS Reedus server, using it locally seems to be possible, but seems to be kind of a pain, and I don't really want to mess with AWS. I don't know. So one of the things we wanted to do is return some real errors. That would be in kind of two instances. One is if your token is bad, your JWT token that comes from Amazon, which right now we just sort of, I think, get a 500 error if it's bad. And the other is to throttle user input, which would also throw an error if you were clicking too fast. So let me just think about some of these things for a minute. It would be a little annoying to like get this set up and working, unfortunately. You know what? Let's do something in here. Let's do a 300. However you do that. I can't remember the, you know, there's like that meta tag redirect. We just don't, nobody should ever land on this page. So how do we do this trick where there's like some kind of snippet? This thing, look at that. Incredible. And we shall just send... Vix! Where have you been? I've been making these planets. I was wondering last night where you had been. How's your Valentine's Day? Working. That's good. Have you even seen this thing we've been working on? Have you even seen this? The globe? Can't remember if you saw the globe. I don't even remember what the last thing you saw was. We were clicking all over the place. Corn syrupy. That's how it is in this country. This is a new thing for the Twitch extension. Have you even played with the Twitch extension? Oh yeah, the heat maps. Yeah, so this is all part of Heat now. So Heat will now, you can click on this. Are you added as a beta tester? I can't remember if I added you as a beta tester yet. So like, oh, I didn't start the thing. You are a beta tester? Okay, let me start the server. Oh. Oh, Unity. I mean, Windows has to just let me know every time I do something wrong. I'm playing beautiful music, like a beautiful harp. Why does this happen? Why does this happen? Where just suddenly my terminal is not, doesn't let me, like my terminal crashes? Cool. It's a good program. What's the shortcut to make it come back to me? Backtick. I played too much music and made it crash. Okay, so if we run dev, should be able to terraform together. No. Gotta restart this. Now can we terraform together? Yes, now we can terraform together. So this is what we've been working on for the last few days, and it's kind of cool. It's not super great. Like, it definitely has some problems. Doesn't look great. It's working reasonably well. It just doesn't look as cool as it might. Although, because it's Valentine's Day, let's do this. And turn on kissy mode. Okay, there. Now it's better. Now we can kiss. Kiss the earth. Kiss the sky. You understand? Yeah, see, you needed to see the kisses. And now it's easy to understand. Let me draw a heart. Here's our beautiful Valentine. User-generated continents. They can create whole worlds. Yes. Continents, small islands, archipelagos, peninsulas. I'm running out of geographical terms. I just added this. Does just max out too much? I don't know. Maybe add some noise to that. Add some noise to that displacement, because I kind of like the idea of displacement, but I don't know. Not sold on it. Intergalactic romance? Yeah, when you get those kisses coming. Beautiful. It's a beautiful thing. So look at that beautiful continent down there. So we could continue working on the look of this, but I kind of wanted to get back to some things we've been putting off, because my aim is, I think, what is today? Today's Thursday. My aim is to try to release some kind of version of this week, because the following week is when the contest is done. And so I think what I would like to do is to maybe this weekend go through the motions of doing the release and get all of those pieces taken care of, and then have a week to focus on, making it cool. Yeah, the contest. Did I not? That's the whole point of all this nonsense is dev post. And now you're out of the loop. Where have you been? Where have you been, Vix? Okay, let's see. We want I have a Discord now too, by the way. That also happened soon or recently. So this is what we're doing. There's this contest. an online hackathon for Twitch extensions. So if you design a Twitch extension, and it's been going since late November, and I only learned about it like a week and a half ago or so, that uses AWS, you can win 15,000 US dollars. How much Life is Yours is that in NOK? That's not what I pasted at all. Oh my gosh. 129,000 Norwegian krone. Krone? 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 Crown? Krone. I'm gonna go with krone. Life is Yours hasn't even given me Norwegian lessons yet, so I don't know how to say it. I could buy a barely used car. Hey, nice. So anyway, that's the whole aim. The most annoying part of this. Krone. Krone? Krone? Norwegian krone? So grand prize is 15 G's and a meeting with Twitch leadership, which I don't want at all, really, unless that meeting is them offering me money to just take over this thing. Second place sounds okay. Not super excited about going to TwitchCon, but the thing is, if I win second place, I'm gonna add some team members. I'll add you, Draclin, Life is Yours, Vix. We'll just all go. We'll just all go to TwitchCon. Crone, like a old witch. Third place is kind of the one I'm most excited about. Get the swag bag, but really, honestly, this is kind of where we're aiming. You know, this is, I don't really know. This is what we'll aim for. Maybe we'll land up here somewhere. Who can say? Krone. So yeah, that's what we're doing. This thing is in a little less than 2 weeks, right? 12 days. So I want to like try to, we already did the AWS part, which is so tedious and horrible. And now we want to get into, we just got to go through the whole submission process, and there's some things I need to do to the back end before I'm ready for that. So one thing is just don't let people look at the backend server because there's no reason for it. In Krone 2 kroner. Oh, I don't want to listen to this guy. I want to listen to this woman count in Norwegian. Norwegian teacher Karen. Or is it Corinne?
I thought I'll teach you some numbers. After you learn the numbers, we're gonna do time, because it's so much easier to tell time if you know what the...
Does she have a cheek piercing?
Is. So, here we go. 1, 2,
2,
3,
3,
4,
4,
5,
5,
6,
6,
7,
7, 7, 8, 9, 10.
And there we are at 10.
We did it.
All the way up to 20.
Is this your dialect?
I thought I'll teach you some numbers. After you've learned the numbers, we're gonna do time, because it's so much easier to...
Do you want to learn how to speak my dialect in English? You can't hear the video? It's very quiet, I know. She needs to bump it up. Draclin, hello, we're learning Norwegian. I was about to teach, I was learning to count in Norwegian, and this is Life is Yours dialect. And so I was gonna maybe teach you how to count in Texan, if you'd be interested. The orbs, yeah, let me find the orbs. I think they should still work. Okay, we have small orbs. Oh, you already know how to do Texan? Actually, I would really like to hear you. I would really like to hear you do a a Texan accent. Okay. Clearing. Okay, ready. I'm ready. What's going on here? These are small orbs. Did you do Game of Life? Wait, no, wait a minute. I know what that is. No, wait, hang on. Never mind. I know what that is now. Inappropriate. I thought you were. I thought I got excited. I thought you were gonna do Game of Life, but no, no, you did the worst possible thing. Look, I could cosplay as her. I don't know quite what her expression is, though. Okay, that's beautiful. Thank you. Thank you for the beautiful Valentine gift. Now... That's a person. What are you talking about? Are you racist against creepers? Life is yours. What do you hate creepers? You're the one who started all of this. Okay, Draclin has a serious criticism. I know, I did. As soon as I typed that, I realized it was not correct. It's no good. They can't help that. That's a... Okay, you're right. What do we... Let's do something else. Do you think it's Abel or Ibble? It's the proper way to spell this. I think this is correct. Okay, fully undistractable today. Cannot be distracted. I'm gonna say on target, on focus, except I think I have a call in like 25 minutes and then we'll just decide what to do at that point. Maybe I'll just mute it and take my call. And you can draw kisses or something. Okay, so we're kind of in an annoying state because when we switched to, maybe I shouldn't have done this, but when I got everything working on AWS, I turned off all of the stuff we had going at Heroku, including the Reedus server. And what would be real handy is if I could use it all locally. Man, I think this is just going to be annoying, unfortunately. We got to kind of shut it down because the real stuff, this makes no sense to me. There's choices they've made with the developer rig that makes 0 sense. So for example, if I go into the developer rig and I want to do like its local hosting and all that fun stuff, I cannot do that while the Twitch backend is in a certain mode, which I don't understand. Why can't this just host? You have to actually go and turn off the Twitch hosting and put in a weird local host URL there. It's kind of frustrating. Not ideal. You have to like go type localhost.rig.twitch.tv or something into the backend to make it work, unless there's been updates. I don't think there has been. I thought there was a changelog though. Release notes. If an extension is in the hosted test, but I'm not. Since Twitch requires all extensions to use SSL to access their backends, the developer rig provides an option to override this. Yeah, that's nothing. Okay. Anyways, let's see. So this is all kind of lame and boring, unfortunately. And when I try to host this, I think it's just not going to work. Even though this should be correct, if I do a host with rig here, I think it is not actually going to host locally. Because if I go here, you know, somewhere, this also doesn't need to exist. Does it? I don't think it does. Oh yeah, we had to break all that out. It's in here now. Welcome to this file. So look at those consts instead of vars, just for you, life is yours. I'm sure I've missed some. So if this was going to be like localhost, depending on where we, I don't remember. It's going to be npm run dev. I don't remember what port this serves on. I think it's 3000. It is. Oh my gosh. Hello, welcome. Don't worry, I didn't do anything yet. I've got to make a thing to make noise, right? It just has to happen. How many times am I going to do that? Yeah, we're like, all the Reedus stuff is just going to be effed for now, because we can't connect to that remote Reedus. Maybe what to do is the following. Maybe what we do is make the Reedus module conditional only if Reedus is available. Like all the Reedus stuff is really this blob really here. Not just you. Okay, I have to switch scenes for a second because I have to go into the env file and look at some secrets. Secrets. And I'm just not even going to set Reedus URL here. Okay, clear, we're clear. Switch back. I'm switching back to kisses because it's Valentine's Day. So feel free to give me kisses. I can't click down there. I can only kiss the very top of my head. Okay, so does this work? But this is, I think this is actually not true. Is it? Wait, that time it did work. Well, I'm confused. So that's great news. So then we can go to somewhere like here. I swear that wasn't working before. Maybe it's not actually working yet. Let's see if it actually is or isn't. Let's have a local kissing booth. And the local kissing booth shall listen to... That's all in here now, right? Is this gonna work? It says heat is connected. Wait, that's the wrong URL. Could not connect. Oh, because we don't have SSL here. Because it's just local. Okay. Something's Something's wrong. What is it? We are connected to localhost 3000 over here. Are we connected to localhost 3000? Oh, probably it's not HTTPS also, which would be, I've got too many files in these projects. I don't know where anything is. This is probably, okay. Okay, we've got kisses. Okay, great. We're now to the point that we can local test. And we want to do a couple things here. So one of them is, for example, what if in our local kissy face here, we did not, we like messed up the token. Like I sort of deliberately want to screw up the token. So if I do this, I think I will get a 500 error. Okay, I'm gonna probably get a phone call at any minute, and then you can just give me kisses while I talk on the phone. I should be ready. I should be ready to go. Hopefully it's not a long call. That would be weird and awkward. Let's see. So I would have thought that this would be throwing errors, because doesn't that mean my token should be ruined? Internal server error, yeah. So we're returning a 500, which is not useful. We should do better. And so that stuff I did not really know how to do. So we just did this. And this. And we want to be a little better about that, I think. Really, there should be more error states, because even inside where we verify the token, we have like several. Well, those would both be authorization errors, I think. And so the example that they ship with used boom, and I just don't know. Boom is like part of Happy, or comes with Happy, and their stuff was built in Happy, but my stuff's in Express, so I don't know that we use Boom. I think we just want like, we just want to be able to specify an error code, I think. So this is passing the error to Express. The 80/20 guide to, what does this mean? Okay. So that lets you send an error message like that, but we really want to send different responses depending on the kind of error. So what's the appropriate way to do that? How do people do it? Press error handling status. Error handling patterns, great. Oh, okay, I could just send an object with a message and a status code. That's easy enough. That looks like as easy as you could want. So this probably just needs to be like our last thing in our Express setup. And all we need to do is have an error, like error. And then if you don't have one, you just do a 500 error. Okay, so, excuse me, then in these cases, what we will do let's just make the payload. Let's just pass this through. If we have an error, then we will pass the error through. And then we will just say inside our buddy, to do this. What is 403? Is that like access forbidden? Yeah, forbidden. Okay. So we probably want to send a 403 here. And this would be very similar, but it was what? Invalid auth header. Oops. Siri, stop. Okay, invalid auth header. Okay, this seems easy enough. Is this gonna work? So we now will do this, and now we'll go over here and we'll try to give ourselves kisses. That still gave us internal server error. Invalid JWT. Did I not do that right? Status code, not status. I didn't do it right. My fault. Okay, so now when we click forbidden, yeah, okay. So is there a way to send that? Maybe that's just over here. Or maybe we're not printing the message. We're doing the status text, but not. Well, that's weird. Status and status text. I would have thought. "403 forbidden," but that's not our own custom error. It's just. I would have kind of assumed that that would be our custom fellow. We're calling this message. And in here, supposed to send error message, and we're logging error message, but this fellow does not do that. Oh, maybe. I mean, can there be a response text then? Or is that going to be null? Okay, no, that's good. Okay, good. Okay, so I think we're doing the thing, right? So we are sending what seems to be reasonable error codes. Is this working at the moment? The KISS server is not serving. I just want this to be running so we can kiss the earth if we want to while I take this call. I don't know. Is this a crazy thing to do? I wanted to stream, but this person wants to talk to me on the phone. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. Okay, so that feels okay. So in our backend service, I don't know that I want all those comments. In fact, I'm pretty sure I don't want to do this. Okay, so I didn't try that yet. So this is better error handling. This is a little scary because if that doesn't work, like if the Reedus doesn't work, let's log that just to be sure. Yeah, just to be safe. So that seems okay. And we'll check our AWS logs just to make sure that this didn't seem too screwed up. Okay, that seems okay. Reedus support disabled, listening on port. Yeah, okay. We'll put maybe some better startup stuff in there. So now let's commit this, better error handling, and use Reedus conditionally. Sure. Oh man, we'll do that shortly. Gonna add the key to putty. We don't need that to deploy anyway. So, not enough places to split the terminal. Rude. What's the shortcut then? This one? Deploy is the Elastic Beanstalk thing. And so that should deploy to Elastic Beanstalk, and hopefully the world is a better place. Oh, it's asking me for my key over here. You get out of here. Is this gonna work? Who can say? I thought it would show me the launching stuff here. One of the things with Elastic Beanstalk takes a minute. It's also sort of weird how this does this. There's an alternate way. This is deploying the whole thing, which I didn't mind because it's tiny. You can do this thing called code commit, I think. I just didn't set it up. Maybe that would be faster because then you only deploy the diff. Okay, so while we wait for this, let's think about how we want to do throttling, because it's going to be annoying. Basically, whenever a request comes in, not only do we need to verify the payload to make sure that it is an authorized request, we also need to like maintain a counter for every user. That sounds horrible. So if we go find their hello world example, they did it in a, it's just an example, but in their, not you at all. So they have, so they have this thing like this, where they have maximum input rate per user to prevent bot abuse or Draclin abuse is 1 click per second, basically. And then user every 60 seconds, they clear that tracking object. And they just have some in-memory blob called this user cooldowns. It's not a blob, it's an object. So what they do is this user is in cooldown, and it says the following. It says, based on the opaque user ID, which I think I get. I think I can have the opaque user ID. Yeah, if they've clicked within a second. So here's the problem with this. This is all just tracked in an array, essentially. It's an object, but that's kind of like how you do associative arrays in JavaScript. Objects just kind of also are associative arrays, I think it's fair to say. The problem is this is only going to work on this one instance of this one, node script running in one thread, wherever it's running. And if we have, our ideal is that we have these fragmented servers, for load balancing, and not even fragmented servers. What would you call them? Instances. And then we route our Reedus communication among them all. Oh, so they just canceled my call. Perfect. Yeah, let's talk on Tuesday. Way better. Sorry, let me respond to that, because then I don't have to worry about getting a call. Let me just play on my phone. That's cool when people do it on stream, right? Let's see. Oh, Google Inbox, what am I going to do without you? What's my life going to be like without Google Inbox? Why is Google doing this to me? They did it to me, but they've done it to me before with various other services. My Tuesday looks clear. Okay, sorry about this. It's early in the year. You gotta try to line up jobs and stuff. Okay, so here's their thing, is they just do this. And that's okay when you've got just this one thread and it's this example and everybody's gonna connect there, but we're gonna have these instance fragmented, sharded, whatever you wanna call it, versions of this script running, and they won't be able to share this little in-memory variable. So, did someone just click me? Who's clicking me? Who did that? Are kisses turned on? I just saw some mysterious clicks come in. Who could it be? I just got a smooch. I'm getting slow smooches. Very slow, seductive. Oh, okay, wait. They're getting more intense. Okay, thank you. Happy Valentine's Day. Thank you for the kisses. Okay, so here's the summary of this. We can't just have a variable that sits in memory that we stick usernames in and out of. The reason we can't do that is, one, it's not efficient, and two, if we have, like, say that this thing's enormously popular and we have like 20 different instances running, then how are they going to know about it? You could still abuse by, like, potentially just accidentally, you could accidentally abuse just by getting thrown across round robin, however it does its load balancing. Life is Yours Firebase. We don't need Firebase because we already have Reedus. But here's where it's going to suck, is to test this. So basically, a cool thing about Reedus is it's just like what do they even call it? I think of it just like as a data store. In-memory data structure store, yeah. But one of the cool things, and this is the backend. Underneath, we have a Reedus adapter, and that is how we can make sure that when you send one click to this server, it will go to the broadcaster even if they're connected on this server. Because in the backend, we have this little adapter, and it uses Reedus pub sub so that anything that goes in on this particular instance comes out on everybody's instance. So we want to use that to our advantage. We could use that to our advantage in one of two ways. One is we could do the pub sub thing, and whenever a user clicks in one place, we could publish that everywhere and then store it in memory everywhere. But that seems silly to me because there's another thing that you can do with Reedus, which is you can stick something, a TTL, time to live. This is almost your name, Life is Yours. Basically, the T is life. The turtle is life. Is that you can stick something in this database, but you can tell it to only, or you do it with expire. TTL, I think, tells you about the expiration. But you can say, just put it in for 10 seconds and then delete it after 10 seconds. And I think this will be cool because instead of having to look up somebody in this database and say, like, oh, is this person in there? If so, what's their cooldown at? And then have something that deletes from the database later. I don't think we have to do that this way. I think we can just set a key for the username, and then we just basically look and say, how do we add that? How do we want to like add a key? We want to set with a, anyway, so we can essentially just say, put this in the database, but only leave it in there for whatever we want to say the cooldown is, 1 second or whatever. And then we will look at it. And if it exists, then we know that we're in cooldown and the person can't click. And then Throttling can't abuse me anymore. So we want to, the one thing I need to be careful of though, is I want to be able to do this. Can I do this in one statement? Set X. Yeah, this is what we want. One thing you have to be slightly careful of is the way that Amazon charges for this. Let's see. Part of it is, where's your pricing, fellow? Part of it is just based on the size of the thing, but I'm pretty sure reads and writes charge you money. Is that true? Maybe that's only with their DynaDB service. So maybe this one's actually okay. Like with their database service, it charges you for reads and writes. And if you do like transactions, it counts as multiple writes, but maybe that's not true with this. Maybe this only charges you, I don't know, we'll have to look. It's so hard to know how much stuff costs with AWS. Anyway, if we can do this, all I need to do is say like, hey, set this thing with an expiration date, and then if I try to get it, if it exists at all, they're in cooldown. So that's my, in theory, plan. The problem is we don't have a Reedus server to test against easily. Speaking of, did that thing finish? Did this never finish? What happened? What happened to you? Let's go to the management console and see what's broken. As soon as I find out what my password is. Why did you log me into Amazon? Oh, use this password. Good grief. Okay. What happened? Elastic Beanstalk, you okay? No, it says it's good. Let's check the logs, and hopefully it will say that we have Reedus support. Actually, you can do this from the command line. I just remembered. Oh well. There's me breaking a million things. Uh-oh, look! My Reedus connection failed. Why would that be true? Cool. Well, first I'm glad it told me that it deployed with no problems, so that's great. But then down here it says it's okay? That makes me uncomfortable. Well, so it's seemingly deployed. Are clicks working? Clicks seem to be working. Why would that be the case? Maybe that instance like spun down or something because nothing was connected to it for a moment? Or like, what a weird thing. Why would that be true? Not cool. Probably Drachlin did it. Probably Drachlin crashed the entire thing. You're probably right. Okay, here's what we need to do. We have one of two options here. Either I need to set up a local Redis server, which I've never done on Windows before, or I need to come up with... Man, I need to see this in VR. Wait, no, I'm undistractable today. I forgot. I'm undistractable. Oh man, but what if I did just looked at it? What if I just took a little peek at it? Right? Just like a glance. Is that okay? It's Valentine's Day. It'll be my Valentine's gift to myself while I think about how to handle this Reedus problem. So either I have to figure out how to tunnel into the Amazon one, which sounds kind of annoying, or I just need to run like some local one. Or I guess I could run one on my Mac, which is easier. One-click Reedus install as a Windows service. MS OpenText. So this looks like a simple little thing. MS OpenText Reedus releases 2016. Do I trust it? I'm going to download it. We'll see how it goes. Okay. Well, that's going to take 9 whole seconds to download. So in the meantime, what are you drawing? Life is yours. What's happening here? Is that you? You're giving the Earth a headband. Okay, I'm going to stop this. I'm going to turn on... You're erasing the sun? Smart. Let's see. I want to turn on... Turn on virtual reality. We haven't tried this at all. I don't know how performance is going to be. This is a lot of textures rendering. Should just be a waste of memory though. Not really. Like sampling from textures. GPUs are pretty fast at that. That's like their whole thing, right? I love that. Okay, let's try. Did that mess up the stream? I always forget that it can mess up the stream when I do that. Okay, so life is yours. Can you please do the honors? Whoa. Looks pretty cool. I don't have a way to click though. Somebody's got to click for me. Is everybody gone? Somebody come back and click for me. This looks pretty cool, actually. What does it look like on screen? It looks like a big old planet. Okay, no one's gonna click for me. Let's click. I'll click for myself, I guess. How does this work? Probably the raycasting doesn't work at all now. Oh no, does the raycasting not work? What did I do wrong? Can we not raycast in VR? Why is that true? That doesn't seem like that should be true. Okay, turn it off for a moment. Try again. Looks like we were getting data in. Okay, that works. Do the screen-based coordinates not work? Looking through the VR camera? That would be pretty lame if that was true. But this camera's still pointed as, like, marked as camera main. I guess we could like not even raycast at that point, and we could just, I mean, yeah, let you just draw directly where you would be drawing on the texture. The other thing is you could raycast from the controllers. The galaxy background is static. I know it's a little hard to do that. It's not super hard. It's just on this material. We would just have to set this rotation separately, do some slow thing. It just wasn't as easy as, like, I only rotated the stars just by throwing it inside the hierarchy. Man, was there a really quick and easy way to make this work? One of the things that's annoying, I was alluding to this before, actually, is that I would, like, if you want to have a VR camera and a not VR camera. So for example, I could probably leave this and say, only leave this like this and don't even draw to VR. Would it work then? No. Why? Why is that true? Because this is only drawing to main display. Why would this be any different than... That doesn't make any sense. Why can I not raycast from this camera that is not drawing in VR? Man, lame. This is what happens when I get distracted. This is my punishment for being distracted. Okay, I'm undistracting. We'll make this work another time. I'll just have to think about how to do it. I think in that mode, what you'd want to do is, well, I really do want to get the multiple camera things working for sure, because that's a big deal. Like if we can have a camera that is for the stream and then a camera that goes to my head. Okay, let's get distracted just a little bit. Virtual reality supported, and then we will have a camera that this is the main camera. It's not going to draw to VR at all. And then I want a totally separate camera that is the VR camera, but it's going to draw to display too. Now, I believe the issue here is that even though it seems dumb that this camera is not going to draw, yeah, this is super dumb. If you don't have this other camera's view on the screen, it doesn't work. So we would have to like add a game view and set this one to 2, and then now it suddenly works, but the performance is awful. Like, nauseatingly bad. And it's on the wrong layer somehow. Like, I want to be able to look at both of these. And that doesn't seem like an unreasonable thing to want, right? Like, that seems like a thing I should be able to do. Have 3 cameras rendering? I don't even know. Oh, the Earth is behind me. I can see the clicks over there. That looks like clicks are happening. Just kind of, they're mapping. Oh, is this camera set to main camera? This camera's untagged. I feel like this should work and that it should not be this heavy. Like, this seems like a reasonable thing. But the frame rate is just abysmal. It's not like this scene is very heavy. Let's just try one thing. Let's try. That just broke it. That didn't work well. The thing that's weird is, like, if I put this up here and only drew this camera and did not draw the other camera, then this is fine. But if I go like this, where you can see this camera, but not this camera, then this freezes. And if I have both cameras up, then the performance is terrible. Like, it's a weird thing. And it's not just the rendering of this camera, because even if I don't render this camera, is it like, does this really want to be main? Camera main? Because why would this performance be bad even without this camera even running? That made it mad. Don't do that. Maybe we should leave it display 1 and make the other one display 2 or something like that. Maybe there's something special about display 1. This just seems like a thing that should work. No, super jittery. Spectating VR. That's what I want. Target eye. I mean, this person pretty much just says to do what I just did. Mm-hmm. Tremendously broken. Just stupendously broken. I really would prefer this to not draw anywhere and to draw to the eyeballs, but to no display. And for this to draw... What did they say? That kept it on the same display. So this one we would say none but display one. You decide which one is first. Like, this almost looks like it works. What? Why do you say the order? Okay. So by giving this a depth 0, this is still breaking the raycasting. However, at least it lets me see what's going on. And I definitely see a texture over there. I see what appear to be red kisses. Okay, so the texture is appearing. So why would we not be able to see that? If we go look at the render texture, if we see any red on it, let's look at this camera. There's a lot of particles in there. Well, you shouldn't render to eyeballs at all. So there's all of our blobs. So our clicks are actually coming through and happening correctly. What seems to be wrong is the render texture. Like this camera doesn't seem like it's rendering. No, Draclin, I didn't get distracted. I know it seems like I got distracted, but it definitely wasn't me, and I wasn't distracted, and I'm definitely not distracted. So, I don't know why you feel the need to accuse me. Because it wasn't me. This camera is just busted. Why would that be true? Clouds? I thought about ways to do clouds. I think we could come up with some clouds. So here's the thing. I was just trying to get this to work. This is really weird. So when I click here, I'm clearly, the clicking is working, right? Like we're totally clicking, it's happening over here. When I click this camera, I see the normal camera preview, great. When I click this camera, I see the camera preview, great. When I click this camera, I don't see it. And that's the camera that gets the render texture. So why? The atmosphere, it's okay. It would be better if the edges were soft. This is just a Fresnel, a really simple Fresnel, and then we multiplied it a little bit. Probably the thing that would just look nicer is really just a flat sprite that always oriented towards the camera. Draclin, why is this camera not drawing? This is really weird. Why would having another camera make this camera not work? Or just being in VR? Like, it's like being in VR mode, even without another camera, makes that camera not work properly. So even if we're rendering this guy to both eyes, the atmosphere, Well, I was trying to make the edges soft. Oh, the opacity was a problem because I just didn't know how to use this shader graph to make an additive shader, but I learned it. Now I know. Now I have that expertise. Why? Why? Why would this camera not render when we're in VR mode? When we're not in VR mode, it's running, and then I run. Is there something about this texture that is like not okay with is it the render texture? Like, what if we didn't draw it to a render texture? We were just drawing. And we just drew everything, just like a regular old camera. It works. And then if we drew nothing except for the earthscape layer. Well, this does not appear to be correct. Why would you not be yellow? Okay. I still don't understand what's going on. Something with the render pipeline? Maybe, but like what a weird interplay where like it normally works but then doesn't work with the in VR. But now it does. Put the render texture back. Make the render texture back to what did we like? I think we just did the integer. Doesn't work again. Delete the render texture. Play. It works. Kind of makes me feel like there's something about this render texture that it doesn't like. I mean, that's kind of a weird texture format. Well, it's super weird, but I guess I could see it not working. That appears to not be the problem. Is it too big? Was it because it wanted to go to the eyeballs? Is that all it was? Well, now we don't get any kisses at all, so is it extra broken? What a weird problem. And if we go here and we turn off VR, nope, not here, here, turn off VR. It could certainly be that when you're in lightweight render pipeline mode and in VR that something weird is happening that I just can't conceive of. Okay, so we're totally happy here, and then we go here, and we go here. Turn this jerk on. Is shared depth buffer something? I don't think so. I think that's something that gets shared like to the compositor layer. I don't think that has to do with anything we're doing here. Okay, look, I'm seeing dots. But where is it raycasting from? Okay, so this is kind of like we're kind of getting there. So now let's add a another camera. That this will be our VR camera. It's going to render both eyes. It's going to be like depth of 1. And main camera is only going to render to main display. Okay, we already screwed up. Why is this eye tracking? Oh, maybe this needs to be depth of like -2. Yeah, okay. Okay, we can draw on the planet. Okay, I think we got it. I think we got it. Depth of -2. So the trick is you render everything to the same display, but have different depths for the cameras. So let's see if I can actually see this now. No, it's totally broken and awful. Man. Is this because something's getting cleared that shouldn't? Like we're clearing the depth buffer or something? So if this was actually 2, so it was on top. No. It's like the culling. What if like this camera didn't clear? Doesn't make any sense. This is gonna look insane. If it works at all. No. Maybe I just need to download that project. Maybe there's just something I'm missing, or it could just be a lightweight render pipeline thing. That's a bummer. Because that's definitely a thing I want to get working for heat, is a way that the stream can see a third-person view and do weird things to me while I'm in VR. That's just critical. I really wanted to see you in VR, beautiful planet. Well, actually, at least we got... You do anything to people in the VR? Yeah. That's the future. And you, Draclin, will be rich because you can hook your clickerator up to it and blow people's minds. So let's just try this. It's not what I want, but Okay. Can we at least click now? And get some kind of land, even if it's in the wrong place? Something is just sadly wrong. So this is where? This is depth of -1. We draw this first. Oh, is that what the problem was? That our weird little masky layer was clearing the depth or something between our main camera and our VR camera? Okay, that gives me an idea. Let's try this. So if you were -2, and this one's -1, and then we make a new one, and then you don't render to any eyeballs, you render, no, create camera. You render to both eyeballs. Did we get it? Is this it? Is this the magic combo? Well, that's bad. That looks bad. You are what? -2. This one needs to be 0. You need to be -1. I don't know. I seem to not have any eyeballs. When I switch to this camera, weird. It matters which camera I have selected. Okay, but that's working. So this is good. This is good. I just need to, position-wise, I'm in a bad way. Okay. I've never seen this particular issue. It cares which. Which camera I look through. Okay, I see a beautiful planet. And now it's not caring when I click on at least this container. Cool. Oops. Okay, I have a beautiful planet right in front of my face, and now can I click it? Oh yeah! I don't get much stereo from these, the bump maps on the rocks could be higher resolution for sure. So let's maximize this, and then let's kiss it. It looks pretty good. The rocks look low res. Everything could stand to be higher res, but I guess part of that's just being in VR. Oh yeah, thanks for the clicks. Nice archipelagos. I can see the textures out in space over there that I don't really want to see. Okay, this is a good thing we've accomplished today, because this means now we can have crazy third-party or third-person setups. Beautiful. Okay, check this out. Maybe we could do something. I've done a little bit with this stuff before. Let me think exactly how this would manifest itself. So what we could basically do is, let me make sure I'm describing this correctly. So this camera that I have in physical space right here in my room, we could set that camera up we could figure out how to set that camera up perfectly to also map to the virtual space, meaning that there could be a one-to-one relationship between me in the video feed and me in the virtual feed, and we could kind of have them overlaid. And then you could click and do weird things to me in both physical reality and virtual reality. It'd be better with a green screen. But that's pretty cool. Okay, great. This was fruitful. This doesn't even count as a distraction because we made some important progress today. We just learned a really weird thing about Unity though, that when you click and it brings up this little preview over here, this matters. Like this preview causes potential issues. Okay, so remember how I wasn't going to get distracted today? What was I doing? I cleaned out my downloads folder. What's the is there a convention on Windows in your I also went through my user directory and like hid all the things that made me mad. Although this stuff, why do you appear? I want you to go away. Even if I wish dot files, I wish there was a way to make dot files disappear on Windows. That would be a nice thing for me. Is there an appropriate place? So like on Mac OS, you have the system level application folder. You can't under view. There's not a settings to make dot files disappear, I'm pretty sure. You can control hidden files, but not dot files. Unless that's a new thing. Maybe Windows added that when they added the subsystem stuff. It would make sense that they would support it now that they support Unixy things to not show dot files, but I looked at it earlier, I didn't find a place, but who knows? Windows, I think, updated overnight without asking me, so maybe that's a new feature. Where do people, like, on Mac OS, you have the top level applications folder. Normally on Windows, you have the top level program files, or see Windows program files and the 64-bit program files. But if you just want your own executables in your own user space, like, where does that go? I know there's a bunch of stuff hidden, like in whatever it is, local low app data, whatever that path, like hidden files here. But there's not like I just wondered if there was a convention. Like, for example, in your macOS home folder, if you make a folder called applications, macOS is like, oh, I know what that is. I got it. But like, I guess it doesn't matter really. I just wanted to, there's the magic folders that it will just instantly put icons on. I wondered if there was one for like, I don't know what it would be. Like one that it would just know, oh great, word wrap, that looks great. Just somewhere to stick local executables. And then you could add that to your path. I just didn't know if there was a Windows convention for doing that. Okay, so presumably I can just run this Reedus server. So now I just connect to localhost 6379 and I'm good. Could it be so simple? I have to look at the environment. Excuse me, pardon me, please. Is that gonna work? It says Reedus support enabled. Does this show connections? Okay, well, that could be cool. Let me switch back here before Life is Yours yells at me. Okay, so the thing is, here's that thing. Here's the thing we've been talking about before I got distracted for an hour. Even though I said I wasn't going to get was not going to get distracted. The thing we want to do is, whenever we get a connection, the first thing we want to do check cooldown. And actually, now that I say this, I think we have to actually do this after the payload check, because we'll need to know the user. So we would have to do something like this. We would have to, inside here, after this is verified, before we decided to send the command, do a cooldown check. Okay, well, let's just start roughing it in. I think it's technically opaque user ID, or just opaque ID. So gosh, we don't have to do this, right? Because it's a return statement. We already have a return statement there. So that doesn't really need to be in this block. And then if we got our buddy, the developer rig, back up. So we are deliberately sending invalid clicks here. So let's make our clicks not invalid anymore. Okay, now our clicks are good. And what we will have to do is something like this. Is check the cooldown. And in this case, if there is a cooldown, we'll return some other error. What was the error that Throttling got when he was trying to abuse Discord yesterday? Should be the same one. What is like a too many connections error? That's a lot of them. That's forbidden. It's like too many requests. Too many requests is error 429. So let's use that. We need to find a way to consolidate these things. So first we'll just like return false, and then all should be good, right? No problem. We should get our thanks. Now let's say true that we are in cooldown for this particular user. And now we get a too many requests. So that's great. So cool. We've almost thwarted Throttling. Throtling's not listening. What's he doing? He's playing Rocket League. He's off in his own world. Who can blame him? Okay, so now we need to implement all our nonsense here to actually check it. So one thing we will need is the payload. What is in the payload? I forgot. Payload looks like this. We get a user ID, but I don't think that's the real. It's this opaque. Yeah, that's my user ID. So this opaque user ID. Well, that's weird. Thought that doesn't look very opaque. As someone whom isn't authed, we talked about this yesterday. This is to not use it? No, wait a minute. Twitch extension GitHub hello. What did they use? Opaque user ID came from the payload. So I think we do want to use that. Doesn't that seem weird? Yeah, it's an anonymized ID, so you can know that, hey, you're a unique user, but I don't actually know who you are. But that was saying that you shouldn't use it to track users, but what else do I have unless you opt in? I think you should use it to track users, at least for a short term, for like short. This is not what I want. Because I typed that incorrectly. In the JWT schema, opaque user ID identifies the session using this. Any token generated by your EBS should leave this field blank. When present, the value is interpreted as follows. Values beginning with U are stable references to a Twitch account across sessions and channels. You can use them to provide persistent services to users. Values beginning with A are transient references to anonymous Twitch session. The user has not logged into the Twitch website. These users are not stable and should never be associated with persistent data. It is possible for them to represent different users over time. Your extension requires a stable user identity. Your front-end interface should display an appropriate login request when this field does not begin with you. Broadcasters tokens are set with you plus their Twitch user ID to avoid confusing opaque IDs with user IDs on the broadcaster. Okay, but I don't want it to be persistent. Like, I want it to be transient. I just want it for click tracking. So it seems like it should be fine for that. Right? So I get it. I mean, you shouldn't be using it to track users over long amounts of time, but I think if you need to track somebody for a short period of time, that this is all you really have available to you. Opaque user ID. So I think we need to send this in here. We will just have totally duplicated code until I get around streamlining it. Really, can we have middleware that like, I think we can. That's what we should probably do, is do all these checks as middleware. Right? I do need to know some data though. Maybe we could modify the request as it went through the middleware. So that's probably a thing to do, is like turn cooldown into verify and verify into middleware. That should not be too difficult, but I don't want to get distracted. What did I do? Payload dot, first of all. Okay. So that's just me, and that's fine. So we know this, and now the thing to do is this fancy stuff we gotta do. I need a set, I want like a set EX. Okay, this key will expire after 10 seconds. So this library is one-to-one mapping. Ooh. I really don't even need a... Will set update something? I'm just going to set and an H set. And the hash and H get my hash. Can you have a field expire in a hash? If it doesn't exist, So, oops. So though, I guess the only thing I want is to like try to kind of namespace it, sort of. I mean, we just need regular Reedus also. Because we're doing this, so we need to have a Reedus connection. Optional name of the key. The prefix. I wonder how that socket IO adapter does it. Well, life is yours. I could, but I think I only need. These only have to last for 1 second, so I think it's fine. Like, I feel comfortable saying like, okay, within 1 second, it'll be okay. There's the pub. There's the sub. Pub. What time? Going for almost 2 hours. I have to stop very soon. I guess the one thing I'm trying to decide is it like to scope this. Like as far as giving some scope to this rather than just saying, just throw at the top level of this thing, like. Which in their case, it seems like they have kind of a, that's what this key is, like a prefix. Get out of here. Reedus key best practices. Object type ID field. I don't really care about the value. I think I'm sorry to tell you, Draclin, I'm working on throttling. Sorry. Excuse me while I check my phone. User type Draclin. I could do something where if it knew who you were. I mean, I actually could. I could like hard code users in. I will consider that. I think I would consider that. I could give you just no expiration. Live forever. It wouldn't be, I mean, it really wouldn't be that bad because all this is just a data store that says like, do you exist in this database or do you exist in this key store? If you do, it's not your turn. And it could just check you to say, nah, man, you're cool. Draclin's exception, Draclin's grace. I mean, it's risky. Maybe you mean it's risky because it's a backdoor, but it's risky because it's you. No telling what you would get up to, especially if you went on some of these streams. Okay, so I think all we need to do is this. I think I'm maybe overthinking this. I think all we really want to do is do the set, and we need the set that has the expiration built in. This. We just basically want to say we need a Reedus client, which I forgot about. Wait, is that here? I just do this. Create client. What do you put in the URL? Let's just try this. Oops. So we will do this, and we will say, where's the set with the expiration? This is that we just will always do this. Like we will always say, I don't know, something like this. Value doesn't matter. And then expiration will be 1 second. Life is yours. Why? What are you? I love this. Thank you. This is my Valentine's gift, but why of all things? Why of all things? Is that what you choose? That's what you choose to send? Okay. So then we need a get. So if I try to get, what if I try to get and you're not in there? Oops. Oops. Client. Of course it's not. broken. I need a toString. JavaScript. JavaScript doesn't care. Null and null. Does that mean that I just wasn't in there? Okay. I wasn't in there, but then I was in there. So basically we say, I guess, if reply. Jacqueline, that's outrageous. That's an outrageous conceit. Okay, look at this. Oh man, I'm in cooldown. Oh man, cooldown. Okay, so we'll start by saying var cooldown equals false. And then if we find you, cooldown equals true. And then we return cooldown. And so let's test it. Thanks. 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 Wait, why is it letting me think? Why is it letting me thank you so much? What did I do wrong? What did I mess up? What happened? Oh, because I'm not setting it to anything. I mean, it probably really is nothing. I stuck a 1 in there, I guess. Whatever. I still have messed something up. What did I do? Guess I'm making the assumption that my Reedus server is actually... I thought this worked a minute ago. Didn't this work just moments ago? Did I break the Reedus server? Seems possible. I guess we could like actually make sure we're connecting to the Reedus server. And oh, should I be doing all this stuff asynchronously? I don't think so. Reply is null when the key is missing. What? Am I doing something really silly? Seems not too far-fetched that I'm doing something dumb. Some version of this I feel like was working seconds ago, and then I started chopping it up. Okay. Reply is continually false. Why would that be true? The key is the same. I'm setting it here. Is there a callback to set? Like, is this set invalid for some reason? Welcome. Going on breathing therapy. What do you mean by that? So your new nickname color is so vibrant. Tall Tech, how's it going? I'm breaking Reedus. Definitely am screwing something up. Set the key. What am I doing? Doesn't this seem like... This looks like a thing that should work, right? Like, this doesn't seem too insane. I feel like we were getting a value here before. Yeah, man. Okay. Guess we just undo until it looks like it worked previously. Like, this was a thing. We saw the word cooldown sometime. Maybe we didn't. I thought we did. Sometimes. I don't know. I don't know what's happening. You just get has a callback. I mean, again, I am just making an assumption that this works. Jacqueline, I need a pep talk. What's going on here? Thank you. Thank you. That's better. Great. Oh, I guess. Okay, let's do this. I forgot we have this. In downloads. Excuse me. Excuse me for typing. Okay, this looks like I have a Reedus server. Let's just turn this off. Okay, first, let's what happens if we don't have a Reedus server? Okay, so having it, that's good news, sort of. Maybe instead of crashing, we should do this. It's weird that that fully explodes, though. Should you really crash like that? Okay, well, anyway, let's start the Reedus server. Cool. Let's start the Reedus client. Cool. That almost makes it seem like the client was frozen or something. Now we have cooldown. So what happened? So cooldown will be false unless we find ourselves here. And now it's back to not working again. Why? What did I do? If reply. Oh, don't return true. Oops, cooldown equals true. That was my own fault. Okay, this seems like it works now, maybe. I don't know exactly what was happening. Okay, well, first of all, this is gonna... Of course we can't do this. I had var in there, which is gonna make everyone mad. Okay, is this the problem? Like, that this is not valid? Is there something that this is... Oh! Oh! This is probably an asynchronous callback. So it's happening independently of all this. So this would never happen. Right. So, oh no, man, sometimes this is a node thing that happens sometimes. Like, what if I want this to be synchronous? What if I want a synchronous get? Like, I think that's my issue here, is that, I mean, that makes total sense. So we will have to do this as a promise, where it will return a promise. I want it to be synchronous though. I want to just like, I don't actually know quite the right way to do this. Like, because I'm trying to build a HTTP response. How can I? I just don't actually know. What's the way to do this? Like, what's the... That's silly. I should have thought of this. This is a callback. Like, this can happen totally later. This is not going to block this. So we just need... I just don't know... What's the rule here? I just don't have quite the experience for that particular pattern. I'm sure it's not very complicated. So I could pass the response. I see. Or pass a callback. Yeah, that's easy enough, because at the end of this, it's just... I mean, especially if it's middleware, then I just call the next. Okay, well, okay, I see. So I just need to restructure that. That was a silly mistake on my part. But we know, I think we know the general, we got the gist of it. I do have to run. However, being kidnapped for Valentine's dinner plans. Shocked. I'm embarrassed that I didn't catch this problem. Nobody tell anybody. Nobody tell anybody about the embarrassing thing that I did. Wait, oh yeah, give me, do we have kisses? Are kisses on? Thanks for the kisses. Yeah, okay. Oh wait, why no? Why? Oh no, fly fissures. It'll be okay. Gonna be fine. Okay, we have Reedus. Yeah, it's gonna be fine. It's no problem. Let's go get some dinner. Okay, thank you all for joining me. I appreciate it. I know this stream was a little weird because it's always weird when I'm just trying to do things that I don't know how to do, but then we figure it out. Piece of cake. This we'll figure it out. It's gonna be good. We'll put in the special Throttling backdoor. I have 2 kidneys. I'm not worried about it. If she takes one, it's no big deal. Okay, goodbye, you lovely people. Have a lovely Valentine's Eve, and I will be back a little later to finish this thing. Goodbye.